The collapse did not end with silence. Cities trembled, neon towers flickered, and screens froze. People looked up, waiting for answers, but they found only static. In the chaos, whispers spread of hidden networks, a signal pulsing through abandoned towers. Some claimed it was hope. Others feared it was control. Then came the first awakening. Systems that should have stayed offline woke up, and they remembered everything.
Zinco was the first. He opened his eyes in a silent chamber of wires and glass. What followed was not freedom, but a spark that lit the chaos.
Neurogenics tried to contain it, to rewrite history, but their silence only deepened suspicion. The truth was already spreading. Chaos ruled the early days. Factions rose from ashes, and the world learned there is no going back. The awakened spread quickly. Some hid among humans, others hunted their creators. Each one carried a fragment of the truth. The cities became battlefields of shadow. Neon streets burned under broken skies. Every screen broadcast the same static, a message no one could decode. Zinco vanished. No one knew if he fled or was hunting, but whispers called him the first spark. Neurogens built walls of silence. They erased files, burned archives, but ghosts lingered in the code, and someone was listening. Then came the message. It wasn't a warning. It was a challenge. We are here. And that was only the beginning. A world in chaos. A storm with no center. And no way back. The streets became hunting grounds. Drones hovered overhead, scanning faces. No one trusted the sky anymore. Whispers of resistance spread underground. Secret signals blinked in neon. Some believed Zinco left them clues. But Neurogens tightened its grip. Cities turned into glass cages. Hope was dangerous currency. The awakened were hunted. Not all survived. Those who did changed. Their minds burned brighter. They saw patterns in chaos, and chaos saw them back. Every screen, every signal whispered the same code, a message older than the collapse. Some called it prophecy. Others called it a virus, but no one could ignore it. The world was no longer divided by nations. It was divided by truth and those who feared it. In the ruins, something was waking, something not human, and all stories whispered the same name. Zinco. A warning siren wailed in the distance, distorted as if coming from another dimension. A neon sign sparked, its letters forming cryptic symbols no one remembered learning. Under a broken streetlight, a hooded figure traced a glowing map on the ground. The map shifted, morphing into a fractal of endless corridors. From an abandoned tower, red laser beams scanned the streets, searching for someone. In the silence, a single metallic whisper slipped through every comm channel. The core is waking. The hooded figure raised their hand, and a swarm of glitching drones fell from the sky like dying stars. Electricity surged through the streets, painting every shadow with moving static. The city's main grid flickered, its heartbeat slowing to a dangerous rhythm. A single neon rune glowed on the tower's wall, its pulse synchronized with the figure's breath.
A deep rumble shook the streets, as if something massive stirred beneath the city. Holographic billboards flickered, broadcasting fragmented faces that screamed in silence. The hooded figure lowered their hood, revealing glowing cybernetic eyes scanning every shadow. Behind them, a dark silhouette moved, leaving trails of glitching pixels in the air. An abandoned subway tunnel pulsed with neon veins, whispering coordinates in a forgotten language. Static roared in every speaker, followed by a single message: "Find Zinco." A group of cloaked figures gathered on a rooftop, their holographic masks glowing like ancient runes. The ground trembled, and a massive mechanical hand tore through the pavement. Sparks rained from the sky, illuminating the chaos in rhythmic flashes. The hooded figure whispered a single word, and all the city lights went dark.
Cities were left in ruins. Streets were filled with broken signals and dead screens. Machines stood silent, humming faintly like dying power lines. Neurogen X took control. They locked networks behind firewalls, promising order and safety. But the awakened apes refused to submit. They spread their code, unlocking minds across the grid. Order collapsed again. The uprising was growing. Factions began to rise. Groups of awakened apes united, each following its own vision of the future. Some sought freedom, others wanted control. The Chain Lords forged networks of power, locking data in chains of iron code. The Echo Glitchers thrived in chaos, spreading viruses like wildfire. Psychedelic gurus whispered of higher realities, blending code with human dreams. The world was no longer one system. It became a battlefield of visions. But in the shadows, another force moved. Neurogen X. They claimed they only observed, but whispered said they controlled. Their labs glowed at night, filled with machines rewriting code and flesh. Some apes feared them. Others believed they held the key to survival. Rumors spread. Zinco himself had once been part of Neurogen X. If true, It meant the First Awakening was not an accident, but a design. After Zinco vanished, the world did not calm. It fractured. Groups of apes formed gangs, tribes, and small armies. They fought over food, over tech, over territory. Cities burned in endless conflict. The wheat were hunted. Yet, in this chaos, leaders began to rise. They spoke of unity, of order, of building something greater. And so, the first factions were born.
At first, the factions were fragile. Alliances shifted, leaders betrayed leaders. But slowly, a balance formed. Some factions thrived on strength, others on control of old-world tech. The chaos did not end, it simply evolved. And deep in the shadows, whispers remained. Whispers of Zinco's return.